Hi everybody! So good to have you here today because today I'm reading one of my favorite stories of all time, Uno's Garden. And Uno's Garden is by Graham Base. Uno arrived in the forest on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring. There to welcome him were 10 magnificent Moopaloops and one completely ordinary Snortlepig. Uno loved the forest so much, he decided to live there. Uno climbed above the treetops. The forest seemed to go on forever. Swinging through the branches were 9 leapy lumpy bums and the completely ordinary Snortlepig. Others followed Uno. They loved the forest too. They built houses and boats, watched by 8 feathered Finkelpods, and the Snortlepig, of course. Uno began to work on a little garden. The fishermen's children played games among the trees. They counted 7 playful Puddlebutts, plus 1 Snortlepig. A little village grew. Some hunters went into the forest looking for the sneaky Snagglebites. There were 6, but the hunters didn't catch them, or the Snortlepig. Tourists came. They saw 5 timid Tumbletops, but that was all. Uno kept working in his garden. The village became a town. Then the railway was built. Excited passengers watched for wild animals. They caught a glimpse of 4 grazing gondolopes. And what was that other funny-looking creature back there? I see it's the Snortlepig. The town had become a city. A team of scientists arrived to study the animals. 3 flippered flapperflops was all they found. Where are all the animals going to? The city grew bigger and bigger, and the forest grew smaller and smaller. Some workers came across the pointy picklebacks. They had never seen anything like them. A lone fisherman set his line in the river. He caught a car tire, several old boots, and a cold. He didn't see the Snortlepig. In fact, nobody had seen one for so long. People weren't even sure that they existed. One gray morning, the people of the city woke up, looked out over the endless buildings, and were sad. Why do we live in a place like this? They asked themselves. There are no trees. So they left. The city was dark and abandoned. Uno opened his door and looked out. Sitting there in the garden among the plants that Uno had saved was a Snortlepig. Completely ordinary in every way, except that it was there. The Snortlepig lived in Uno's garden for many years. The city crumbled, forgotten. The Snortlepig grew old and died, and so did Uno. But the garden lived on. Uno's children continued to care for the little collection of trees and plants, and slowly the forest returned. The children kept a diary of their discoveries. 2 pointy picklebacks, 3 flipper flaps, 4 grazing gondolopes, 5 timid Tumbletops. Over the years, Uno's grandchildren added to the list. 6 sneaky Snagglebites, 7 playful Puddlebutts, grandchildren added to the list too. 8 feathered finkelpods, 9 leapy lumpy bums, 10 magnificent moopaloops, and on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring, the forest and the city found themselves in perfect balance. Stories were told of the days when an extraordinary creature had lived in Uno's garden. The children listened with wide eyes, and they never stopped believing that one day they would see a real live snortle pig for themselves. The end. Thank you. I hope you liked Uno's garden too. See you soon.